Hello, my friends. It is me back again after being drenched. Sorry for this half nakedness. Everything I have is soaked, including my boots, my socks. Even though you can't see below my belt, I'm not taking my pants off. Just some reason it seems like I'd be pushing the boundaries too much. And that'd be really for those that think they don't. Oh yeah, I guess I could switch. I'll just go behind here. I got a pair of long johns I can put on. That was something else. Taking off those wet socks as well. I feel like when I was a kid, you know, when you get absolutely soaked and your mother sort of pulls off all your stuff and dries you off with a towel. You know, when you're a little kid, and you know, you just kind of stand there all shivery and just eventually enjoying that feeling of the dry clothes, especially if they just come out of the dryer. Now my toe is hooked on the pants. So this is not fashion day by any means. You know, I'm sure many people have seen me in my long johns before. This is a weird towel. So, always I soak my veggies with a little bit of vinegar in the water and then rinse it off. So that's been done. Got my water to boil my veggies sitting right there. There's little bits floating in it, but I trust it's just part of nature. That's one thing I've really noticed being out here. Gradually I got used to bits of unknown particles in my food and just it's parts of the trees that are dropping their pollen and stuff, right? But I have to admit, it could be a little worm, little maggoty thing. It could be some other bug, some other bit of dirt. It could be a bird poop. You know, technically, I can't be sure. Well, I hope I have some kind of scissors. Shit. There's always something you find out that you need, you don't have. So, these are the steaks that I have once and on occasion. I don't eat a massive amount of red meat, but when I do, I have grown very fond of, I think it's a reasonably fair price. I don't eat them much. From New Zealand, grass-fed boneless beef rib steak, raised without antibiotics, no added hormones, free range, aged to a minimum of 28 days. And I guess that's why it's so tender, because I can't believe it. I've had, you know, the whole free-range grass-fed, bought off a farm, and it's like, man, it was the toughest damn shit I ever ate. It should have just all been turned into hamburger meat. But I tell you, these are amazing. I splurged, you know, this was about $12. But I really, you know, just felt like I needed a little something. Okay. Oh, I could. Anyway, I'm just thinking of little options of what I can do. There. And a little sip of my Eastern white pine needle tea. And I've got to figure out how I'm going to cut that out. Oh, you know what? I don't even have a knife. But I'm not going out again. Fuck that. What I'm going to do... Oh! I do have my pocket Leatherman. Oh, for those of you that just tuned in on this video, just moments ago, I got in from outside in an absolute downpour. So watch the video that I have playing just before this. Just to put this video into context. I got drenched. I was cooking outside, starting to cook outside, and I just had to give up on it. But then I had to kind of go back and forth in absolute lightning, thunder, pouring, drenching rain, and everywhere where I had to go, I had a trench dug just last week. And actually, the guy's name is Doug. So everywhere I was walking is sandy soil that has been dug down to at least 3 feet to put hydro in cable, and then filled in again. So this downpour, as I'm walking back and forth in like rivers of water, rain, I'm sinking as well in quicksand. So it was quite the experience that I really was not expecting to be quite on that level. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. This mistake that happened last week, or a few days ago, fuck. I was painting my, I think it's all, I hope this doesn't malfunction and I have to buy a new one. Oh. So I was clear coating my Phoenix mailbox, which you can check out on different episodes, and the whole thing fell over on its post and everything. Well, I think it will eventually chip off. And I was holding the jar of marine spar varnish, whichever you want to call it, and it knocked and it drenched my pants, my arm, both arms. I found out later that my pocket leatherman was just coated in it. So a lot of things I had to move around just so they wouldn't stick. But I've got a lot of maintenance to do on this, I'll tell you. And I love my pocket leatherman. It's so versatile and everything comes in so handy. And I've had one for pretty well ever, and I have memories of when I used to travel to conventions. What was that? It was a gunshot. Why in the dark? You're not supposed to shoot in the dark. But, just gotta, oh, what's that? Never heard of that before. And I don't know what and why. Has me a little concerned. Because you're not supposed to shoot after dark. And it definitely has the dogs all lined up. What the hell? Why would someone be doing that? Unless there's some friggin' bear attacking someone and they have to do it for safety. It would only, in that case, it would only be a bear. Probably not a wolf unless it was injured. Would it come this close? It would be out in Algonquin or something, or a coyote, which would probably also be only be coming up that close if it was injured. Maybe a skunk or something. That's, I don't know. Maybe I'll find out tomorrow. Okay. Forgot what I was talking about. Welcome to my life. Things happen and then I forget what I was talking about. You just don't expect after a heavy storm in the dark to hear 3 or 4 gunshots. Even smells good raw. That don't have any. Oh, I could put it. Yeah, here we go. I could put it on here. salt and pepper it. I think I do have butter actually. Okay. What the hell? Got me a little bit concerned. It's a lot of shots. Trying not to get nosy and keep from being distracted. Okay. Damon Rohenchild's cooking show. I'm not by any means a chef, but I will admit, over the years I've gotten much better. Much better. And I have a few things that I think I've perfected. One of them is cooking a steak on a barbecue. That I just started doing last year. I've never ever much of a heavy meat eater of any kind, and I am not now. I kind of eat it like a supplement. This is actually a large steak for me. I prefer like 4 ounces or something. And therefore, of course, I didn't know how to cook them either, so I didn't eat them much. But I don't know, whatever happened, maybe I just needed them. Stress in life or something. I needed a little bit of red meat, but I just bought one day. You know, watched a bunch of YouTubes. I have definitely found that it is true what I saw in most of the YouTubes is the best thing to do with a steak is grill it. I like mine about sort of medium rare to rare. And just put loads of crushed black pepper all over it. And sea salt. And then a lot of butter so it kind of stops it from drying out. So a lot of fat. I'm curious to hear the story about those gunshots. That was a lot of gunshots. And I'm kind of imagining, I'm thinking, is there something prowling around? But then all those shots, maybe because it's in the dark, it's hard to see. Yeah, I'm very curious because that doesn't happen. I don't think it's ever happened. But stay tuned and watch other episodes coming up because I will reveal what that is when I find out from my neighbors. So if you like a little suspense and you're really curious what the hell was that, I will reveal what I find out when I ask around. So it'll be tomorrow, the next day, maybe tomorrow, I'll let you know. I'm using a lovely homemade product by a good friend of mine who has a company named or called Uniquely Pure. It says connect, unwind, and flourish. Finishing salt, summer savory, and garlic. Yeah, summer savory, garlic bulbs, sea salt. Uniquelypure.com. Which has all kinds of skin stuff as well. Flavorful and creative way to preserve the freshness of the herb garden for use throughout the year. Can be used to flavor fresh vegetables, poultry, or garnish a variety of culinary creations. Well, I'm using it on steak just because I don't have. Actually, I could have used that with maybe what I'll do is I'll leave that side with the garlic salt, savory, which of course is more suitable for chicken. And maybe the other side, I'll put the other salt that I'll grind up with my pepper. Get a fusion. Yeah. Check this out. This is absolutely amazing. Okay. Now, flip it over. Oh, I'm getting this. I think this is completely sealed and new, yes. Bit of salt. Wish I had a dryer to dry my clothes. So for those of you that don't know and haven't followed all my videos, you might say I crash landed. I think I did a very good job overall. I'm not overly patting myself on the back, but it was not easy. Sold my house, paid off all my massive debt because of COVID and lockdown and being deemed a non-essential business, so prohibited from working, and given pittance to make ends meet for me and Raven, and my wife being diagnosed just recently with cancer. There's a lot of challenges that I had to meet and deal with as they came, and I really absolutely zero certainty. Everything was deep water, everything was new, learning curves, and I did what I could. And I basically kept a little piece of land when I severed up stuff, and the land I kept I like it a lot, lovely forest, and metal shed 30 feet by 60 feet, storage shed that I'm eventually going to have renovated into a workshop, gallery, and studio for my soul prints, and then also build myself. I'm thinking of this, building myself a house. So right now, when I crash landed, which was about a month ago, beginning of May, I was living, and it was -1 easy each night. I was living in the barn, in the shed, old futon that actually my dog Felicia was sleeping on. I wasn't picky, and literally had chipmunks running over my sleeping bag at night, which somehow didn't gross me out as much as the idea of a rat doing that. And I figured, well, it's their space as much as mine, and I didn't feel like I was in danger or anything. So yeah, it was a unique experience. You can look back and see those. The whole idea of sharing all this is for people to see my process. It's unedited. I'm not trying to be someone or manicure anything. It is as it happens. I think it's reasonably unique situation and experience that some people may have parallels because of everyone being locked down and stuff around the world. Which I would really invite anyone who has or is going through any parallel to leave comments, share. This is all about sharing, because that's what I'm doing, is sharing. And I don't know how it's going to unfold. I really don't know. But I'm nothing to hide, and I'm hoping that my process and my experience as it unfolds, and I'm someone that 5 years ago was netting $200,000 a year for my business. It's not what I made, that's what I net. But it was me that was earning the money by just tattooing soul prints. I was doing very well, I was working very hard, I was loving my business, loving my clients, my friends. I couldn't get enough of it, and then moved out here. Things slowed down a bit, which I expected. That's fine. I meet those challenges. But then lockdown happened, and it just absolutely destroyed me, financially and otherwise. And that was the crash landing. I had to make quick decisions that I didn't even know about, like severing the land, taking a piece, and going from there. So, and then with my wife finding out she had cancer, and then having to have surgery, it's just pretty well too many things all at once, too many challenges, and it was definitely a crash landing, but it wasn't a wreck. I think I landed it fairly well. Necessity because of my wife's situation and her health after surgery. She couldn't be in this. There's no way. Like, this is really roughing it, and she's in a lot of pain, quite a bit of suffering. She won't complain, but she is. So she has to be in a warm house and flushing toilets and showers and baths and sinks with hot water and kettles and things. So I took on this position, and we're renting Raven a room in a house, actually with a really good friend. She's awesome. And who's also an herbalist, and so they're having a lot of fun. But so I'm just taking it as it goes. I'm doing my best. I'm right now trying to negotiate to get a well in, and I was told by one guy it was going to be $30,000, and he didn't sound like he wanted to do it. I think he was raising the price just to, make me not do it, because definitely it's a very difficult area here, and it is expensive because it's so deep and there's a lot of stuff under the ground. It's just not fun. And I was told by the first guy that, it's just a whole bunch of mess. But anyways, the new guy I talked to, and I had rave reviews, but I always thought he was more expensive. And then when I mentioned what the other guy wanted to charge, he said, "Oh, that's really weird because I'm the most expensive and they're charging more than me." Yeah, I do think that they were trying to get rid of you, scare you off. My steak is warmed up a little bit now. And so anyways, I'm here. They told me honestly, they said, "We can't promise you anything, but just so you know, it could be next year when we can get to you." So I might have to do a whole summer and a winter melting snow kind of thing. Not looking forward to that idea, but my friend Don does it. It is doable, but that would mean that Raven will not be living with me for till next year. And I don't like that for many reasons. Also, no one knows how long they have. But, in a situation like this, I'd like to spend as much time with my love as I can. So it doesn't make me happy on many levels. And to have so many challenges all at once is mildly crippling. I'll be honest, I'm not complaining, but I have waves of intense emotions. Sometimes I get night sweats. Actually, quite often. The last 3-4 nights I've been getting night sweats. Pretty gross feeling, especially when I can't shower often, so I have to do like a sponge bath. And sorry, I'm just looking around. I don't even have a knife or fork. I got a knife for my thing there, but I don't think a fork anywhere. Oh, I gotta have a fan on. What am I gonna do here? Okay, Sorry, the fan makes a bit of noise, which will interrupt the sound quality, but I thought it had a little bottle of alcohol here. Clean that off before I stab it into the butter. And hopefully the spar varnish doesn't come off in my food. But it is what it is, or else I don't eat. Here we go. Oh yeah. That. Now, I will warn you, folks. This is a little teeny place here. I'm using propane and it could make a little bit of smoke. I do have the fan on, but the smoke detector is right there. I hope it doesn't go off. But there are no guarantees. I've been watching lots of YouTubes on everything from building your own composting toilet with sort of wet, dry separator. And what else? Well, all kinds of research stuff. But what I've been noticing is that tons of people are getting... Ah, I knew it! Don know how to... Let me take this off. Oh, okay, that's how. Temporary battery removal. Oh. Sorry about that. Yeah, I think I'm going to be using the knife to flip the steak as well. And I got plastic forks over there, but that's disgusting. Okay. Oh. Oh, fuck. I'm trying to do this right. Yeah, so I've noticed loads of people are buying vans and customizing it, like building a little house inside, or getting trailers, or a whole variety of creating a little mobile home and completely changing their life and living in it and traveling around. And I had a cool thought for some people. When we were in Fergus, we had a very lovely house, and I noticed that a worldwide kind of, I forgot what it's called now, but it was a kind of a house share thing. So if you had a really nice place, you put yourself on this, oh, that pepper. You put yourself on this list, and then people will kind of go, oh, I really love your house, and oh, it's in Canada. A really nice small town, beautiful, called Fergus. Hey, would you ever be into trading for a couple of months? We would love to go to Canada. And we're in Spain, in La Palma, Canary Islands. That was actually what happened, but I never ended up doing it because we were too busy at the time. And I think they had someone else, and then they said, well, maybe later because we love your house. But anyway, so there was this house trade thing. And I thought it'd be really cool if people everywhere who had a piece of land that was set up so that you could park your trailer, truck, mobile home, whatever, and then you could do trades. So you could have your vehicle that you travel around in, and you have your piece of land, but you don't want to always stay on your land. So you trade. So someone else takes yours, they plug in, do their thing. It's all set up. And I thought that would be a great lifestyle. And then what I've heard as well is these people that are traveling around, they have gatherings, kind of like gypsies, like the traveler movements in Europe. And that's when they'll sell their wares, and so they'll set up a whole little festival. And I don't know, that culture community thing sounds absolutely exciting. I'm not in a position where I can be moving around. I have my dogs and Raven with her health situation. But I would like the idea of having our nomad village here in the forest, at some point setting it up so there's one or two places that people could come and flop their trailer in and hang out for a week or a month or whatever. So that's kind of something interesting. We also always like the idea of having people come and, when we were up at the other place, we had many volunteer workers that came from different countries and stayed for sometimes 2 weeks, sometimes a month, sometimes 4 months. Mostly from Europe, like France, Germany, Italy. And I've got to just test my steak because I do not want to overcook it. But I do not want it so blue. Oh, that's, yeah, definitely a little bit longer. Is absolutely necessary. Look. Wow. I don't know how you're supposed to cook in these places. But I think definitely opening windows is in order here. Good idea from now on if I'm going to cook. This kind of cooking anyway.